Hello, I'm TheNerdySteve, and welcome to my movie review channel. If you like what you see, I'd appreciate you liking, commenting, or subscribing. Today, I will be reviewing The Wedding Banquet in one take. So, let's go. First, maybe I'm a bad queer, because I did not know this was a remake going into this film. But it is. Maybe it's more a reimagining? Who knows? But I like to judge movies on their own merits, so I won't be making any comparisons here. I just wanted to get that out of the way. A gay guy, Min, wants to marry his boyfriend, Chris. Chris doesn't want to commit. A lesbian couple, Lee and Angela, want a child, but Lee's second attempt at IVF failed. Min needs a green card and to stay in his grandparents' good favor. So a plan is formed. Min will marry Angela and pay for another of Lee's IVF treatments. Will this plan work? Well, you have to watch the movie to find out. One of my biggest problems with The Wedding Banquet is that I found the acting and writing to just be a little too inconsistent for me. Some actors seemed to be like they were reciting their lines in a soap opera. It was a very weird experience because I kept on thinking to myself, is this satire? At times it seemed like these melodramatic performances and dialogue was on purpose, but it didn't fit the tone of the film. And that's also what I think I found a little upsetting about this movie. I wasn't laughing. Okay, I definitely laughed a couple times, but as someone who's usually the only person laughing in the theater at specific moments, I was surprisingly silent. The entire premise of this movie is a comedic goldmine, but most of the jokes are one-liners that didn't land for me, and the dramatic moments just didn't work for me either. For example, there is a part of the film where two characters do something that to me is very morally wrong, but they kind of gloss over that part and there doesn't seem to be any consequences for their actions. We at least don't get to see them resolve this in a satisfying way. It was a conversation I would have liked to hear, but didn't get. This is the huge issue I had with the film, the pacing of it. The movie had many scenes that seemed redundant or useless or a distraction from the main plot and missed out on ones I wanted or felt the film really needed. There's an entire arc of Chris, played by Bowen Yang, with his cousin that just seems completely unnecessary and doesn't really add a lot to the film. If those scenes were instead between the main four, we could have gotten much more clear goals and more defined drama. Honestly, I think the movie would have been better as a mini series or something along those lines. That way, the story could have been told in a much deeper way because there are a lot of characters in the wedding banquet that are fighting for its attention. And I think the film loses its identity in the process of trying to satisfy all of them. And there was something also about the transition from scene to scene. I don't know how to properly explain it, but some scenes ended too abruptly or started in a weird way. Like the literal transitions between scenes were jarring. I recently saw and reviewed A Nice Indian Boy, and there are a lot of similarities between the two films. They're not just queer movies about marriage and the complications that come with it. I feel like A Nice Indian Boy is just a tighter script that's funnier and more emotional. It hits a lot of the same beats that The Wedding Banquet does, but better, in my opinion. The Wedding Banquet was fine. I feel like the movie's biggest downfall is that it didn't pick a lane between drama or comedy and wasn't able to straddle the two effectively. I wish it was funnier. I wish it was more dramatic. And it wasn't enough of either to have me really enjoy it. If Kelly Marie Tran is an actor you want to see, she is wonderful here, and the performance is worth watching the movie for. But overall, it's mostly a pass for me. I'm the Nerdy Steve, and thank you so much for watching, And as always, like and subscribe and comment below to tell me how right or wrong you think I am. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.